Formula SimRacing heads stateside for the penultimate round of the championship, held at the Circuit of the Americas in Austin, Texas. The circuit is filled with corner complexities inspired by others, such as the first sector being reminiscent of Maggots and Beckett's at Silverstone, whilst the elevation and wide corner entries provide a unique challenge for the drivers. It was 2019 champion Jurnej Simčić who took pole by over a tenth of a second from his teammate Martin Gosby. Gosby lock out the second row with Lukaszek ahead of Braxton. Meanwhile, Sander Kallas qualified in 5th for Netrex ahead of Michi Hoyer's ground effect. Petter Burlak was slightly disappointed with 7th ahead of flag-to-flag reserve Phil Kraus, who impresses to qualify 8th. Jeffrey Fournier qualifies in 9th with Robin Panzar rounding out the top 10, qualifying on the soft compound tyre. Meanwhile, Mohamed Patel couldn't quite make it into the top 10, so starts in 12th. Kirill Birikov makes his return after a 4-race absence due to technical issues, qualifying 11th but starts 15th due to an inherited penalty, whilst Thomas Fock makes his WC debut for Invictus. As the lights turned on, all eyes were on the rundown to the tricky first corner. Lights out, and Simčić got away well with Lukaszek getting alongside Gosby at turn 1, whilst Hoyer made a great start. Lukaszek eventually got ahead whilst Hoyer and Kallas ran side by side. Neither wanted to yield and Hoyer paid the price, forcing an unscheduled stop. Down the back straight, and Lukaszek set about catching the leader Simčić before making the pass stick at turn 12. Lukaszek led from Simčić, Gosby, Kallas, Braxton, Burlak, Fournier, Kraus, Panzer and Kiss. The Go Speed immediately set about building a gap and unsurprisingly was the first of the leaders to pit on lap 10 for mediums. The Super Soft runners were losing pace, which meant that the soft tyre showed Panzer was on the move and he made light work of Kraus's flag-to-flag. The rest of the runners pitted at the end of that lap, bar the ACRs, who pitted a lap later. However, Gosby found himself jumped by the Netrex of Kallas, who pitted on the same lap as Lukaszek. Those who were going long provided quite a lot of action. Costa and Kastorp were enrolled in quite a battle. The pair running side by side from multiple corners, but eventually the Franny driver won the battle. Ahead, Patel had a run on Kish, who he passed without trouble. Gosby was now giving Kallas cause for concern and he regained the place that he lost in the pits at turn 12. Behind, Panzer had been jumped by Kraus and was under pressure from the 3-stopping Kish. In his defence, he sent one on Kraus, but Kish got involved. But eventually, the Edge got ahead. Back at the front, and Simčić had now caught up to Lukaszek, and he made a pass stick at turn 12. Lukaszek trying to fight back. But he made contact which damaged the Go Speed, allowing Gosby to slip through. Kallas was now right behind the wounded Go Speed, but weirdly slowed down on the exit of the final corner, allowing Braxton and eventually Burlak through. The Netrex then fell victim to a forceful pass from Fournier. Kraus then tried to get involved, but was forced wide, which allowed Panzer to make a breathtaking pass at turns 17 and 18. Now Braxton was hounding his teammate and he made an easy pass with DRS before Burlak pulled off a nice switchback at the beginning of the next lap. Fournier had passed Kallas and was now hounding the Go Speed. He made the pass at turn 12, whilst Panzer, who had picked off Kraus, passed the Netrex behind. Panzer passed Lukaszek at turn 1 on the next lap, and unsurprisingly, the Go Speed had decided to pit at the end of the lap. However, his pace then mysteriously dropped off, which meant even scoring points was unlikely at that stage. This didn't bode well for Callas, who was under pressure from Kraus. The flag to flag, passing him at turn 12, with a Jean Lacey esports driver following suit the next corner. Both ACR cars pitted on lap 35 for their final scheduled stop, with Simoncic just beating the 3-stopping Kish on pit exit. However, Kish had more pace and passed the net race leader. The ACR cars couldn't find a way back past for a while, which put them into the clutches of the cars behind. Meanwhile, Panzer was reaping the rewards of being able to stop later as a result of qualifying on the softer tyre. He capitalised on a mistake from Fournier to take effectively 5th. He then made light work of Berlac, who was struggling in traffic, before passing Brexop to take 3rd. The ACR pair was just in front, having struggled with traffic, so could he challenge for the win? Behind, Mohamed Patel was making use of the alternate strategy and made light work of Phil Krause's flag to flag, eventually catching up to Brexop, Berlac and Fournier, and attempted to pass Yoromia. He made the move stick, but the Frenchman attempted to come back. However, Berlac hit Braxock and resulted in a chain reaction. Both Patel and Fournier lost their wings and their races were ruined. It was a bad day for Sander Callas, whose pace had dropped off in similar fashion to Lukaszek, before he lost it at turn 18, the Netrex retiring at the end of the lap. Ricardo Costa's day also came to an end when he lost it at the penultimate corner, beaching his car in the gravel and putting him out of the race. Back at the front, and Gosby had been biding his time behind this teammate. On lap 51, he made his move, passing Simoncic on the back straight to take the lead. Panzer was now behind Simoncic, and he made a bold pass at turn 12 to take 2nd. Could he challenge for the win? At the back end of the points, Stephen Michaels was struggling and was falling into the clutches of the battling Kish and Birikov. Kish made the pass at turn 12, however, Michaels tried to come back. However, that only put him into the clutches of Birikov, who got past at turn 16. It was the final lap, and Robin Panzer had his sights set on Martin Gosby's lead and her first win in World Championship. But he faltered at turn 8, putting him under threat from Simoncic, who attempted to retake 2nd. But Simoncic then made a mistake himself. All this gave Martin Gosby some breathing space, and he duly took his 4th win of the season ahead of Panzer and Simoncic. Janis Braxock finished in 4th, but not for long, as he was disqualified for excessive cutting. This promotes Berlac to 4th, and Kraus, who takes flag to flag's best result of the season, to 5th. Danny Van Den Eet finished in 6th ahead of Darren Rodchek and Daniel Kish, who just fended off Kirill Birikov to finish in 8th, while Stephen Michaels rounds out the top 10. Thomas Fock drove a solid World Championship debut to finish 11th, whilst Wojciech Lukaszek was extremely disappointed with 12th, having led in the early stages. In the drivers' standings, Martin Gosby is now back in 2nd and has a good chance of securing 2nd in the drivers' championship standings at the final round with an 11-point gap, while Janis Braxock's disqualification prevents him from moving ahead of Darren Rodchek to 7th. In the Constructors, ACR Blue are now 30 points ahead of 3rd place Edge, and it looks like it may be an uphill struggle for the Belgian squad to catch back up. Whilst Flag to Flag now move ahead of Invictus and Grand Effect for 8th in the standings. Thank you very much for watching this video. Highlights of the Brazilian Grand Prix that took place on the 24th of November will be available soon, but the full live stream is available to watch on this channel. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more Formula Sim Racing content. See you next time.